The Burg votes, up close and personal interviews with the candidates. What one area, above all else, would be your unique focus while in office?
My main area of focus for District 6 will be affordable housing. It is something that has reached a crisis level across our state. And we see many signs of that right here in our own city. If you see the real estate market, it might tell you something different, but once you look closely at the prices of most homes that are being sold today, you find that that's out of reach for most families. Having a stable roof over your head can be the difference. It's the difference between getting ahead and living with dignity and facing homelessness and despair. We have to have more homes that families can live in so that entire neighborhoods can be lifted. I know that there are areas in South St. Pete that have a lot of vacant lots where if you can put homes in those lots and have families move in, that's something that can lift an entire neighborhood. It helps out the people who already live there. You have more people looking out for each other. You have more people taking care of their homes. You have the kids going to school, maybe walking a little taller because they come from a good neighborhood. Maybe they try a little bit harder in school then. Mom and dad don't have to worry about, where the rent's going to come from or anything, or is the rent going to go up. Having a place that is truly yours that you can call home is something that everyone dreams of. And I think we need to have a real focus on making that happen for more people in our city.
What specific one policy, program, or investment would you champion and try to get done in your first year?
I would definitely look at putting more money into youth employment programs. I think that's extremely important, and it's something that we don't seem to have enough money to really be effective at. And I believe that when you give kids an opportunity to try something new, to put their minds and their hands to good use, and actually see a reward from that, you're helping them to build a path to success in their life. And we don't have that for enough kids in this city. So I don't know if other school-related programs could be rolled into that, because I think that after-school programs and summer programs for kids are important across the board. But that youth employment, I think, really can be a game changer for kids who are looking at which path in life to take.
How will you build relationships and bridges between downtown and midtown?
It's not easy. It's something that, for some reason, it's not happening on its own. We need more people who are willing to reach across that invisible border that we have that seems to be separating the success of downtown from the rest of the city and from Midtown. The success that you see in downtown, it's unique. I mean, city centers are where everyone wants to be these days, but some of the components of what made downtown successful can be applied to other areas. When you're talking about encouraging small business and actually going individually to small business owners to see how you can help them. The city has great resources that maybe aren't being communicated far enough. I'm thinking of 22nd Street right now, and I know that's outside of my district, but looking citywide, you have some great things that are happening in the Warehouse Arts District. A lot of people are talking about it and what could be coming there and how that can develop to be so successful. But it's right next to the Deuces, where there's still a struggle and not the same attention. I'm not sure why. But I would love to see something where each of those districts maintains their individuality and their identity while working together so that people can visit, one or the other and have two different experiences but come away saying, what a great part of our city. So that's one. I know that that's not downtown. I know I kind of got out of the boundaries there, but that's just one example of two districts that are working individually that actually could share some success if they decide to work together a little bit.
What do you think is the biggest positive thing that's happened in downtown in the past 5 years?
I think the most positive thing is the dedication that we have to fostering an independent business community. We are, as a city, I think we're very proud of our small independent business owners. Some of them grow so that they're not such small businesses anymore.
And what are you referring to? The local shops one?
Yeah,
thing?
well, there's that. There's Keep St. Pete Local. There's the work that the Chamber of Commerce has done. The Downtown Business Association, which I'm part of. All of those organizations have served to foster, the growth of small business. And then you also have the residents who are in that part of the city who are patronizing those businesses and using them and spending their money there. So the money is staying in the neighborhood that way. And you have, the person that you go and buy something from is someone who lives down the street from you, and it helps them, get their bills paid. It makes you feel good. We struggle sometimes because there is an interest in larger national chains, coming downtown, and a few have. And I think it's really a question of striking a balance between fostering that small business atmosphere and, making room for, some of the name businesses that people recognize and can kind of fill the gaps for people to meet people's needs.
Okay, and then in parallel to that, what's one of the biggest positive things that have happened in the Midtown portion of your district, or the South St. Pete portion of your district in the past 5 years?
I think that I've seen some positive things come from the Southside CRA, and I think that there is really a benefit to having that. It worked quite well for the in-town CRA, which affects downtown. It was applied a little bit differently, set up a little bit differently. But what I love about the Southside CRA is that it has input from stakeholders in the community. So the people that you have on that Citizens Advisory Committee actually can, give their input and influence what happens with the funds that come into that. As businesses and residents, as the population grows, as you have more people moving into Midtown, as you have businesses starting to flourish, more money will be able to go into those funds so that you can do even more. So you just have this great multiplier effect with a CRA, and when there's a good plan in place, it can really lift that entire area. I think that's really a big part of what's needed. It seems that there is a focus on entrepreneurship and helping people who either want to start a small business or grow the business that they have. That's who we need to champion. That's who we need to get behind and support, because they can emerge as the real leaders of the community.
Okay. Next question. Which current council member do you
Which current council member do you respect most and why?
I have to say that that's Carl Nurse. He has been our city council member for years, and I think he has done a wonderful job of representing our district. It's a big and diverse district, and it requires the attention of someone who can truly listen and empathize with every single person. You have every kind of neighborhood in this district, and each neighborhood requires different solutions. So you have to have that open mind and that ability to listen and empathize and really put yourself in someone else's shoes to help really make change. I mean, he's done that. If you just look at what he's done with affordable housing and the efforts that he's made, he's been involved in on a real roll up your sleeves level with so many projects. And when you talk to him, and I've known him for about 3 years, when you talk to him about what's needed on the south side, you can tell that it's coming from here, and that means something. He's not just talking. He puts some action behind it, and I admire that.
Okay.
We're gonna miss him.
Okay, great.
Okay, so which mayoral candidate?
Which mayoral candidate will you vote for?
I'm not really being vocal about who I'm voting for specifically, but my focus really, no matter who the mayor is, I'm there to represent the people of District 6 and work for them and fight for them. So whoever the mayor is, that's what I'm going to be approaching them with. So, that's really my number one priority is going to be making sure that the people of District 6.
What is the biggest financial waste you've identified in city government?
That's a tough one because I believe that most of our money is spent well. I have seen administrative choices at City Hall that I question. Sometimes I wonder if we really need that many people to do the work that's required when you get into administrative positions. It's tough because I'm not there. And I've never really gone in and said, all right, do we really need to be paying this person this much? You look at what our frontline city workers are making and what they do all day, and then you kind of compare that, and I know that not everyone's doing the same job, so not everyone should be paid the same, but I wouldn't say it's so much waste as that I wish that we would find ways to allocate more payroll to the folks who are really working on our front lines and getting things done every day.
Such as, who are those people?
Especially in July. Our stormwater and water resources crews that are out there right now doing their best to work with the issues that we're having with our stormwater and street flooding, things like that. Those are real challenges that aren't going to go away anytime soon. I think the city's moving in the right direction with making repairs like that. But I've gotten to know a lot of the guys who and women who work in our stormwater department, and I just think that they deserve to get something more, and maybe some of our positions that are held in City Hall could be looked at and perhaps revised so that we can make sure that everyone is being paid what they truly deserve.
Okay.
The Burg votes, up close and personal interviews with the candidates.